Manuel Ortega, licensed professional counselor, licensed marriage and family therapist. You can reach us at 956-682-5132, or you can text us, call us, or you can go on the internet and on our website, and you can ask questions, and we'll talk to you about the counseling, the fees, and so forth, the available hours. There are 2 other counselors at Ortega and Associates besides me, and all 3 of us are biblical and professional, and we try to give you help from the very first session. And on this section, I want to talk to you about the Dance of Restoration, like this book here, The Dance of Restoration. I'm a co-author with Melody Fleming, and this book is written to help people who now are experiencing adultery, betrayal in their marriage, and each of them want to restore the marriage. And that's why this book was written. I'll start off by saying that the adultery devastates marriage. It just destroys it. And 2 people, and then after a while, they're trying to overcome the destruction that it brings. It's very difficult, it's time consuming, and it requires a lot of mercy, a lot of grace, a lot of God involvement. But it is one of the hardest and strongest and most negative things that can happen in a marriage. Adultery, betrayal, and some people, they have an emotional affair. And they say, I'm not doing anything wrong. Well, yes, you are. You're betraying your spouse. You're talking, you're giving, you're receiving from another person what you have no right to receive. And you're forming a bond. You're forming intimacy with that person. And if it keeps going, you're going to be in a sexual involvement. That's the way it happens. Adultery, in most cases, it starts by talking. And then after a while, you're having sex together. And now it's really, 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 really bad. So this is the book that we wrote, The Dance of Restoration. And I'm going to read a little bit from it to you because it is a very good book for helping people who are experiencing adultery, betrayal in their marriage, but they also want to restore the marriage. This is how the book begins. Chapter 1 is called Suspicions. The wife asked the husband, "Are you having an affair?" "What kind of question is that?" Robert looked surprised. "An honest one," replied Joyce. For months she had noticed the signs. He was staying at the office later and later. She had seen Teresa's car in the company parking lot that weekend. He'd been sent to New England. Why hadn't he mentioned that Teresa had been sent on the trip as well? At home, he was moody. 1 minute affectionate, the next withdrawn. And then there was the earring. She had found it in the car last night. At first she asked about it innocently, but he was too nonchalant, too eager to explain. "Oh, that's Teresa's," he had said. "I took her home one night when her car wouldn't start. Poor thing. We worked so hard on the Benson account. She fell asleep with her head against the window. Guess it must have slipped off while she was sleeping." "Oh." That's all she said, just, "Oh." Never mind that the earring had been found on the opposite side of the seat. Now his sudden change of subject. He's rambling on about other things. He never talks to me like this, she thought. Never. I usually can't get 2 words out of him. Now suddenly it's darling this and sweetheart that. Awkwardly, he turned the conversation back to the earring. "Here," he said, "let me take the earring to the office tomorrow for Teresa. Assuming, of course, that it's hers. It doesn't belong to one of your friends from church, does it?" By then she was numb. She knew. Without replying, she handed him the earring. There was a slight tremor in his hand as he accepted it. Their eyes met. There was no mistaking the look on his face. He shifted his gaze back to the road, and again he began rambling about everything, from his favorite pizza topping to his opinions about his firm's latest business moves. Normally, she would have basked in such attentiveness, but she knew it was just a cover for the truth. Even so, she stayed silent. She would give herself the night to think it through. Perhaps she was being too hasty. She couldn't make her heart accept what her instincts were telling her. And that happens a lot with the wife. She doesn't want there to be any problem. So she accepts what he's saying. So it keeps going. And now, here he stood, shaving, as though she had simply asked him what he wanted for breakfast. She had dropped the bombshell and he had barely winced. "I asked you a question," she said. She had stayed awake most of the night trying to find the courage to confront him. She wasn't about to let him ignore her now. "What? Are you having an affair?" Half of his face was covered in shaving cream. He paused and looked straight at her. No, he said, I am not having an affair. The moment felt like it was happening in slow motion. Oh, she said it again, and she hated herself for it. She wanted to scream and throw things at him. She wanted to explode with rage, to slap him and hurt him and make him tell her the truth. But she also wanted to believe him. Paralyzed by a nonchalant response, oh, was all she said. Robert resumed shaving. Don't be so suspicious, he said. You always think the worst of me. She went downstairs to prepare breakfast before they left for church. And that's how the book starts. All right, so I'm going to keep talking a little bit more about the book and about restoring marriage after infidelity. I'm Abel Ortega, licensed professional counselor, licensed marriage and family therapist. You can reach us at 956-605-5963.